What's up everyone, this is Enrique Montano and today I am bringing you 6 tips on how to find cheap flights. And if you see me looking down a lot, it's because I have my notes right here. I don't know if you can see them and read them. You probably can't because my writing is horrible. But anyways, without losing too much time, guys, these are 6 tips on how to find cheap flights. Like I said, these are the resources I use personally on the day-to-day basis, you know, when I need to find cheap flights. These are things that have worked for me, so if these things don't necessarily work for you, totally understandable. If you have any other suggestions, obviously put them here in the comments. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel, which is at the end of this. No, I'm not trying to become a YouTuber. I'm just trying to give you some helpful tips on travel, how to travel more, how to save a little, how to do this. And remember that all of these things are things that I've been through, that I've experienced. I just talk about things that I've done, that I know about, right? Or that I've read or learned. That's it. So without losing more time, this is your tip number 1. Use a private browser. That's right. If you are using your phone, your Mac, your Windows, whatever you're using, there's always a tab on the top left, and I'll show you right now. Actually, if you're using your Mac or your phone, let's use a phone. If you're using your phone, all you got to do is tap the bottom right tab when you're on the internet, and then it tells you if you want to go into a private window. You click on the left, and then you open up that private window and you do all your flight searches through there. Why? Well, because the system won't save your searches. That means that the algorithms won't save your searches, so they won't hype up the prices. So what happens is that when you do it in a regular browser, you are searching, and then the algorithm's like, this person maybe wants to go to Madagascar. So guess what? I'm gonna up the prices, because that's just how they get you. On tip number 2, pick a good flight scanner website. Pick a good flight scanner website. That is tip number 2. I've been using Skiplag, and I'm not plugging them in because they don't do any of these partnership things yet, but I've been using Skiplag for a while now. For example, when I had my professional tryout in Louisville, Kentucky, dude, I was looking at prices and it was gonna be $1,200 round flight trip from San Jose to Louisville, and I was like, yo, I can't do that, that's way too expensive. So what happened is I actually went on Skiplag. How I came across this platform, I don't know, don't ask me, I don't remember, but I'm so glad I did, because like I said, I've been using it for 5, 6, 7 years now. So I came across this platform and I got a flight from San Jose to Denver, from Denver to Louisville for $350 one way. And the same happened from Louisville to Colorado, from Colorado to San Jose. So it came out to about, I remember it was like $750 or something like that, compared to $1,200. I was like, yo, plug me, you know, hit me with that price. Anyways, it really helps a lot. But the thing with Skiplag that you have to take into consideration, and this is something I'll talk about on tip number 3, but a lot of times with Skiplag, you can't check in bags, because what happens is, if you remember, I went from San Jose to Colorado, and from Colorado to Louisville, and what happens sometimes is that if you check bags, let's say they give you options, right? So if you want to go to Colorado for $350, you can get off in Colorado instead of going all the way to Louisville, because if you go to Louisville, it's way more expensive, right? I don't know if that's making sense. If it's not, I'm sorry. But anyways, in Colorado, if you get off in Colorado and you check the bag, your bag is gonna end up in Louisville, Kentucky, and that's, if you don't wanna go to Louisville, your bag is gonna be there regardless. Another thing is that they do charge you a small fee if you book through Skiplag. If you click on it, I'll show you if you click, for example, this specific flight here, and then it takes you through the process. Sometimes it does send you to another link, but you got to be careful, because if you don't want to be charged 10 bucks, you know, it happens. It's just a skip lag fee. But the way you can avoid that is if you search, if you look in the details, you search for that exact same flight in, let's say, for example, American Airlines, and you'll find that flight and you won't get charged that extra $10 fee, which is nice, because listen, I'm with you when I want to travel cheap. I'm frugal, you know, not because I don't have the money to do it. Well, not because I don't have the money to do it, but guys, if you can spend $200 instead of $600 on something, whatever it might be, if you can spend $10 instead of $30 on a meal, do that, because that's how you travel more. And that's actually my next video, so make sure you stay tuned and subscribe. But anyways, we're gonna go back to tip number 3, which is be flexible and travel light. I guess I'll give you this example. I just booked a trip to Switzerland, and what is really cool about skip lag is that there's these long layovers, right? And you're like, what the hell? That's crazy. But this is what I'm saying. You got to be flexible. Someone for like myself, I'm 26. I don't have kids. I don't have all these debts, all this stuff. You know, I still live with my parents sometimes. Not really, you know, because I'm always going out and about. Anyways, what happens when you're flexible, you get to stay in Barcelona for 14 hours, and then from Barcelona you get to go to Switzerland, to Zurich or whatever, wherever you're going, which is really cool. I find it really cool about this website, you know. And sometimes you might not get those cool flights. Sometimes you have to stay, if you're going from San Jose to New York, you have to stay in Chicago for 3 hours, or 1 day or 2 days. It just depends. So you have to be super flexible. That's how you get super cheap flights. And travel light. A lot of the times, these companies like Southwest, Frontier, Spirit, I'm not plugging them, but if you want to sponsor me, Southwest, Spirit, and what was the other one I said? American Airlines, all of y'all, hit me up. Anyways, a lot of the times they charge bags. So they allow you for a personal bag, which is a backpack, which is a personal item. Or sometimes they allow you for a personal item, which is a backpack and a carry-on. But a lot of the times, like I know Frontier for a fact charges you 30 bucks for a carry-on, and you can only take a little backpack. 30 bucks is 30 bucks, guys. And if you're not aware of that, once you get there and you have your carry-on and you haven't paid for it, they charge you 60 bucks. So all of a sudden that $20 flight went to $80, and it's like, damn, bruh, I could have used those $60, fool. Anyways, let's go on. And this, what did I write here? Yes, most airlines make their money from first class and extra baggage, so be careful with that. So be flexible and travel light. This is one of my favorite tips, I think, because it goes under the radar a lot, and it is look to travel in and out of bigger airports, international airports. LAX, Chicago Air, Colorado, whatever it's called. San Jose is not, well, it is an international, but it's not as big as San Francisco. So you will find most of the time, most often than not, cheaper flights from San Francisco than from San Jose. Now, obviously that's not always the case. So professional tip, always look from San Jose and from San Francisco, and even from Oakland. Sometimes from Monterey, they're super cheap as well. I'm talking about California, guys, not Monterrey, Mexico. Arriba! Look to travel in and out of bigger airports. That was tip number 4. Tip number 5 is book ahead of time. I'm gonna plug in some airlines right here. Southwest Airlines, guys, they have a lot of specials. I just remember for this Memorial Day weekend, Veterans Day, they have a calendar, and I'll show you as I'm speaking. excuse me, they have a calendar that tells you the low fare days. Literally, you can go on there and be like, December 26th through December 28th, super expensive. And then all of a sudden after this date, it's like $70 from San Jose to Arizona, like there and back, $60. It's crazy cheap. Southwest does it, Alaska does it, but that's what I'm saying, that you have to look to book in advance. I know it's difficult sometimes. Like myself, I suck with, you know, booking in advance because I'm always pretty spontaneous. I'm like, all right, I want to go here. And that's another travel tip. A lot of the times, but before I go into this, let me see if nope, actually a lot of the times, if you travel between certain days, especially on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday, no, not Friday, sorry, Thursday, in between those days, the more prone you are to find cheaper flights. And that's where it goes back to tip number 3, be flexible. I know it's hard because a lot of you guys have jobs. Excuse me. Yes, fly in and out during usually cheaper. It's cheaper to fly Monday through Thursday than Friday through Sunday. Although always there's exceptions, of course. You know, I got a flight from Vegas to Monterey Bay for, I think it was $60 on a Sunday. So, you know, there's that, and that's the thing. That pro tip. This is another pro tip. Search super early in the morning, of course, on your private browser, or super late at night, because those are the times where there's less people trying to get flights. So that's when the airlines are like, yeah, we'll put this from 120 to $60. Why not? That being said, we go to our last tip, which is tip number 6. Do research before picking your flight. It takes some time if you wanna save that nice penny. If you don't, go ahead, run your dad's credit card. It's all good with me. But it does take time, so do go back and forth from SkipLab to Kayak to Cheapo Air to Skyscanner, all those, you know, compare whatever. At the end of the day, I stick with SkipLab. I love them very so much. They've done a lot for me. I appreciate them. And I'm gonna tag them in this video, and I know eventually we're gonna work together. SkipLab. But before I go, pro tip, last pro tip, search for flights either early morning or later at night. I already said that. I am already repeating myself. That being said, guys, if you like this video, I hope you find it useful. Pass it on. If you used any of these tips, please comment and let me know if they work, what you like, what you didn't like. If you didn't like the video, too bad. Stay tuned for my other video, which is gonna be, I have the notes right here. 6 tips on how to travel more. And I'll tell you tip number 1 for 6 tips on how to travel more. Save. Gotcha. I'm not gonna tell you until next video, but until then, remember that one life, your life. Una vida, tu vida.